Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to target the user's clicked answer. Alright, so what do I mean by that? What I mean is whenever we run our game, alright, and whenever we get to the questions, the user is bound to click on one of these questions, alright? So now what do we want to do? We want to find out which answer has the user clicked on, alright? So before going there, I'm just gonna click here and I'm gonna stay. I think that these boxes, they're a little bit large, I think, for our app. So let's go ahead and let's go into the where they are created. So this is where they are. So the height is 150, the width is 200. What if I grab both of them and I set them to 100? I mean, what would that do? So let's save it. Let's come here. They are definitely smaller, but I think the height is big, but the width is less. So let's decrease the height. Let's, you know what, keep the height as it is and increase the width. I think it looks better. So let's go ahead and let's check out, you know what, I'm just going to implement it in here as well. So the height is going to be 100 and let's save it. All right, so the height is decreased. Let's just breeze through the questions and we can see that everything looks good. I'm worried about the last one where it might not have enough enough space, but it does have. I mean, we could like decrease the height and increase the width, or we could just leave it as it is and increase the width a little bit more. I think this is better. And what if I grab this and I say align item, flex, and save it. Did it come down a little? So yeah, it did. So it is going to come down because I think there isn't enough space between the question and between the answers. And I do believe that this looks better than what we had before. It was very big, very bulky, the answer. And I think, yeah, it definitely looks way better. So I'm just going to implement it in here as well. So what I did is I increased the width to 250. I decreased the height for our choices to 100 pixels. And on the container for these choices, which is the choices container, what I've done is I've specified align items to flex end. This is going to align them in the vertical direction towards the end of the container. All right? So place self-center. We could because all of these, I think they're all flex containers. Yeah, they're all flex containers. So I just went ahead and I said align, not align items. Yeah, I think everything is going to be towards down. Is it look the same as this one? Yeah. Yep. Nope, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. So yeah, both of them are the same. All right, so now let's dive into what we were going to do originally. And what was that? We are going to create an event listener and we are going to map where the user has clicked, on which of the 4 options has the user clicked. So I'm going to create that event listener right beneath what we had there. So, and I'm going to say answer. All right, so what am I supposed to write here? So I'm going to write answer choices event listeners. All right, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab all of our answer choices and I'm going to say for each, and we are going to run a function. However, we do need a loop variable that is going to loop over all the answer choices, and it is going to select whichever the user has clicked on. So we need a loop variable, and I'm going to call this looped variable answer, clicked answer. So what is the clicked answer? What is the answer that the user has clicked? So I'm going to grab that clicked answer, and I'm going to say add event listener, and we are going to listen for a click. Click this time, and whenever the user clicks, at first I just want to go ahead and I want to log to the, I was about to say console to the log to the console, just the event object itself, because I want to show you something very cool, very cool. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this. So if I click on this, we are going to get all this information here. It is going to give us a mouse event, all the target, where is it, even if it is trusted. Yes, it is trusted, so that's a good thing. And from there, we can get the target. The target is going to give us exactly what the user has clicked on, but this is not the awesome thing. The awesome thing is if I come down here to I, we are going to get the inner text. So the inner text is 100. Why do I need to get the inner text? I'm just going to tell you why. I'm going to come to our first question. So this is the correct answer. What is the inner text of the correct answer? It is 100. All right. So what we are going to do, the way that we are able to check whether the answer that the user has clicked on is true, is accurate or inaccurate, is correct or incorrect, is we grab this text from the browser, from here, and we check it against this correct answer. All right. If both of them match, it means that the user has clicked on the correct answer. If they do not match, if they're not equal to each other, it means that the user has not clicked on a correct answer, and thus we are going to print a red here. If they are the same, we are going to print a green color here. If they're not, we are going to print a red color. All right. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to show it to you in action. So we went into the target, and from there we went into inner text. All right, so not inner Y, it is inner text. So let's grab it, txt. Let's save it, and let's say start. Let's click on 10. We are going to get 10, 100, 150, 27. So we get exactly what the user has clicked on. Now, what do we want to do with this data? I'm going to grab this data and I'm going to store it inside a variable, because now we get an answer. Whether or not that is the correct answer, we are going to find out later. But for now, to be able to use it later, we need to store it somewhere. All right. And I'm going to say let user answer. All right, so this is the user answer to be that. So whatever the user has answered is going to be stored inside the user answer, and I'm going to call a check answer function, and I'm going to pass in the user answer. Now I know we have not created this check answer function, but we are going to create it. So whenever the user clicks on any of the answers, we get the text, and we pass the text inside this function. So let's come down and let's create that function, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say check answer function. All right. So we are going to say function check answer. Now we are going to pass in a parameter. The parameter is going to take into consideration the argument. What is the argument? The argument is the user answer. So the parameter, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pass in simply answer. All right, so it doesn't matter what you write in here, but it should be something that makes sense, because we are checking the answer. We are actually calling this function with some sort of answer, be that a correct or incorrect answer. So now we want to know whether or not when the user has clicked on a certain answer, if that answer is correct, we want to do one thing. If the answer is incorrect, we want to do another thing. So let's talk about it, and we are going to implement the functionality in our next lecture. So if what the user has clicked on is it just says check answer is not defined because we have not defined this function, so do not worry about it. So if the user clicks on any answer, we need to know if this is the correct answer. If it is the correct answer, we are going to print a green into this score container, into this progress container. If the user has clicked on a wrong answer, then we are going to print a red into this container. Right? So this is the logic that we want to do. This is the theory behind the logic. The logic we are going to implement in our next lecture. See you guys then.